Hello, I'm Cortland Mallory, and welcome to the Straight Facts Podcast. Today, our topic is college. Now, how do you choose the right college? Should you go to college? This is a question everybody's asking. Whether you're a high school student who's looking to go to college, a current college student looking to transfer, or somebody who's been 20 years removed from college and thinking, should I go back? This is the video for you to figure it out. So let's get right into the meat. What is the purpose of higher education? The purpose of higher education is to uphold an age-old tradition. There are an age-old tradition of folks who dedicate their lives to study. This is the idea of being a student. These people, once they reach a certain level of studying for so many years, dedicate literally the rest of their living lives to learning. It's called continuous improvement. And it's what people who have bachelor's degrees and beyond have committed the rest of their lives to doing, learning. This is something not a lot of people understand. Actually, a lot of graduates these days don't even realize that's the pledge that they made by getting a diploma or by getting the degree. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I think it is, especially knowing how important that is. Learning every single day and continuing to is the only reason that these people shine on the big stages and know what they're talking about. You really have to take the time out. So let's talk about which colleges you should be looking for. So as usual, we're coming from the perspective of a young black man or woman who just has no education and does not know what's going on. And if that's really the scope, then I have to mention HBCUs. Now, what is an HBCU, that is? You see House United? That actually references the Atlanta University Center, which comprises of Morehouse College, Spelman College, and Clark Atlanta University. So an HBCU stands for Historically Black College or University. If you didn't know this, especially if you go back to our racism episode, during about the same era as sharecropping and before that, it was literally illegal for a person of color in the United States to receive higher education. I mean, that should blow your mind. It should, because it blows mine, and it was about 100 years ago. So it does affect us, absolutely, but that's besides the point. During that time, HBCUs were illegal organizations that sole mission were to educate these people who were completely barred from higher education. Nowadays, after the civil rights movement, those laws have been rescinded, and it is now legal for persons of color to pursue higher education, so HBCUs are legal, and they persist. Now, you might ask, well, since racism is illegal now, what's the value in going to an HBCU? Let me tell you something, little black boy, little black girl. People have a bias towards you. They believe that because you are the way that you look, you act the way that they believe you act. Now, you and I know this isn't true. We're individuals. I mean, when you know about black people and you know black people, you know exactly how varied we are. I mean, there's almost no similarities between us other than the way that we look, right? But in access of that, it's very, very important for you to consider the benefits of learning in an environment that has that scope for you. HBCUs say, we know that you're a black person. You need to be a black professional. You must be a black artist. You must be a black this. It teaches you how to deal with the biases that come with your race in conjunction with the skill sets you need to enhance and be successful in your career. That is so important. Now, what we refer to as a traditional college or a PWI, predominantly white institution, is just another college. I mean, they're all colleges. They do the same thing. They actually have the same curriculum, no matter what your course loads are. If you're going for a business degree or a psychology degree or whatnot, the things you learn will pretty much be the same between a PWI and HBCU, except for the scope on your culture. In a PWI, there's pretty much a blanket understanding that this is the material, get through it, get your degree. And in HBCU, there's an understanding that this is the material, learn where you fit in relativity to that material and how you can present that material without scaring anyone or being aggressive or making anybody feel uncomfortable. I mean, there's tons of things that we learn in the HBCU environment that just disarm other races around us so that we can be more effective in the professional environment that I think every young black American needs to know about when they're choosing a college. But for everybody else who's just sitting here listening to me drone on about us being in our community, what about the rest of us? What should I be considering? Well, the main reason we go to college is network. Network. There's nothing that college can help you do that you cannot learn in the free market. People will teach you things. The internet will teach you things. You can learn just by trial and error. You do not need to go to college to increase your value in the marketplace. However, it does help certain types of people, and it is worth it from a debt to income asset ratio. When you look at the amount of debt that you have versus the amount of money that you make as a result of having a degree, it is statistically still worth going. The big three things that you want to keep in mind when choosing a college are cost, people, and opportunities. So, number one, cost. College costs a lot these days. You can no longer go and work and pay off college. If you do, you're gonna have to go to college part-time and pay for a smaller amount of classes in order for it to be anywhere near worth it, right? So if you have to go to a community college that costs a lot less money, especially in those first 2 years as you get your core credits down, I urge you and I recommend you to do it. It might save you thousands of dollars to go to a community college and pay less in upfront costs, have no loans, transfer your credits over, and complete the degree somewhere else. That is the most common way to cut costs related to college. Definitely make sure you look for scholarships. Scholarships are so important. You do not have to go into debt to go to college. This is a common misconception. You can go to college for free. You can be paid to go to college. You just have to embody that sort of energy. You need to let scholarship givers, you need to let the people in those decision-making positions know that you are of intellectual talent and you are worth having at their institution. Which actually leads me to the second thing: who's going to be in your class? The people that you're around as you go through the curriculum are arguably the most important aspect of college. These people will grow up to be senators, they'll grow up to be management consultants, they'll grow up to be presidents, prime ministers. You want to know these people long before their success takes off. You want to help them and have a good place in their mind throughout their college days so that later in life, that is somebody that you can call on in a time of need or a time of want for insight and anything else, right? And your last thing is opportunities. Who is the college or institution connected with? Who can they put you in touch with? Colleges and universities that have had former presidents go there, that have connections with different organizations you want to be in, are colleges you want to consider. Some colleges have better relationships with organizations than others. That should take a major role in whether you decide to go there. After all, we wouldn't want to go to a college that doesn't have the opportunity we're seeking. That is so important. So if you're an older person looking to go back to school, I would say think about these things the most. Do you have to go into debt to go to college? The biggest thing you need to pay off debt is time. And if you're older, you don't have as much time to go to college, make the money, go into debt, and have the prospect of paying it off. Don't leave debt to your children. That's the worst birthday present you can give your children, right? However, if you have the network and you have connections with the right opportunities and you're older and you're wondering about going back to school, I urge you to look at the idea that you've pretty much received the education you need. Having people around you, having them look at you favorably, and being able to provide value to them is the very essence of a college education. If you can do this in your personal life without paying thousands upon thousands of dollars and dedicating years of your life towards it, then you're winning, and you don't have to think about a degree as something that'll legitimize you further, because it won't. There's one last thing I want to share with you that'll help you in college, and it's the Royal Fleet. It's the 3 ships of success, your Royal Fleet. Ready? It's scholarship, internship, and mentorship. While you're in college, these should be the main 3 things that you look to bake into your experience, because they will take you so far in life. Every major role requires that you have had an internship experience. Going through college with a scholarship will save you a ton of money on debt. It might even get you debt-free. And mentorship is gonna open up all those doors that you need to open. A mentor will give you the sponsorship that you need to even get your foot in the door of a place that you wanna be in. So, with that being said, we have concluded all of my advice for you getting into college and making that choice. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that this helps. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. This has been Cortland Mallory with the Straight Facts Podcast, and I'll see you on the next episode. If you're looking to start up your long-term investment portfolio, check out Stash. With Stash, you can invest in ETFs and other long-term securities. Get $20 in free stock when you use my link below. Come get started with me in long-term investing with Stash.